Good evening, dandies. Welcome to Undetermined, the podcast.
They told me it was legal.
I'm curious as to how many beers you're going to hear me open through these microphones.
Yeah.
We heard a lot through Vedettes.
yeah.
Vedettes, Godzillionaire. I don't care.
Yep.
I think it adds it's a little special something.
Yeah, it's charm and
Yes.
gloss.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, on our endless quest, I guess, to cover the entire Kansas music scene, we'd like to welcome you guys, friend and stranger.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Coming on the show. Been listening to your shit. It's really good stuff. Ben White been sending me over some tracks. We are talking to Blood Daubers.
Yes.
Right? Right.
Yeah. I guess you are.
You're not sure?
Oh, if we're the Blood Daubers, who knows?
Yes.
You know, the masks. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So many years of anonymity.
Yeah.
You lose
Yeah.
yourself in it.
Yeah. Lose your identity. So was that sort of the thing when you guys started off? Just keep it anonymous, or how did that come about?
It was an idea that was floated around, and then we really liked it not being ourselves. You know, guys that have been in bands before and all that, and then doing something completely different. Because this is our first time. This is my first time singing. It's strangers' first time singing in a band. First time doing everything. So
Yeah, that and a horrible stage fright really kind of.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a bit of that terrifying thing of singing in front of a crowd for the first time.
No, I don't.
Kind of want to be able to take that mask off and then, go have a beer at the bar and cry about it.
Right? I never thought about that. Like the afterwards, you don't have to. Nobody has to know who you are.
Right.
We played with a few bands that I've come off a stage and not had the mask on and then gone up to them and been like, "Oh man, that was a really great set. I can't wait to play with you guys again." I'm like, "Wait, who are you?" And I've been like, mission accomplished.
Yeah. Right
Nobody knows who we are.
a lot of brutal honesty then, I guess. You can listen to people. It's like, woo, somebody can be here at the bar. Oh, well, keeping it honest, that's cool. Yeah. And I hear from a lot of masked bands, and I like a lot of masked acts. I think that's an interesting way to approach it and a cool way to do it.
Wait a second. There's other bands that wear masks?
Oh, yeah, there's a couple.
Oh no. I thought we were
there goes that idea.
Yeah. I thought everybody was ripping off my idea coming this spring. So
They did. Buckethead owes you.
yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, a lot of them say that, that it's good. It keeps the music pure, and it just keeps it, is what it is. You don't have to deal with all that shit with, image and identity.
But you really are dealing with an image a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. It still comes around to that, though, because you get that persona, that comes on. So,
Right.
Any issues dealing with that?
No, because we haven't really hammered that all out in the sense of having to. Nah. Short answer to that, nah. Nah. The only problem I've had is sometimes it's hard to drink through it. But
yeah.
Yeah. It gets sweaty. It gets really hot and sweaty immediately when you get on stage. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, we started with like real fancy masks, had lights and stuff on them, and like this is the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one I had was like a full ski mask, and we had this like light up LED mouth that went over it, and so every time I talked, it would light up. And motorcycle goggles. And about 8 seconds into our first gig, all of that fogged up, and it was a problem. It was bad.
That would be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
How long have you guys been playing together?
Blood Daubers has been, about 2015? It's about 5 years or so. We've been milling this idea around, got real serious in the past year or so. But we'd known each other. We've been playing together in other bands for
on and off since I was like 16.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like like 15, 20 years now, so that we've known each other and been playing. So it was a really smooth transition.
Was the plan to always start out as like a 2-piece and just kind of do that, or did that just work out better for you for collaborating?
We were the only people that like to go to practice, and then also the only person I never had to contact on, hey, do you want to play this show? Would have been Stranger. So it fit pretty well that the only two people that wanted to write songs and do this and all the bands that we were in was us. So.
We started kind of like the idea came out. We were playing mostly like a cover band, and we were going to be like the R&D when we just got together and started playing with just us. Mm-hmm. And then everyone else kind of fell apart, and we just kept playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kept playing, and I can't turn down a show offer ever. So I was like, hey, man, I got this gig. Do you want to go do it?
Yeah.
I was also at a bar, and I had told somebody that I was going to have – I had a new band, the Blood Daubers, and we were going to have an EP out in the next month. And then I went to Stranger and was like, hey, I made a promise that we got to keep having an EP in a month. And so we did this little thing like real quick with some old demos and stuff and wrote a couple, and it was bad. And it's on SoundCloud, but it's on private now, so you can't hear it.
Nice.
We've grown quite a bit since then.
Yeah.
And that was the R&D part too, is like, there's nothing off the table. I just want to learn on how to do music. Like, you know, so if we want to do a doo-wop song, we're going to do a doo-wop song. It's things like that. So not having a label on the band, like we're not a heavy metal band, we're not a blues band, we're not any of that. We're just two guys that want to do this and learn how to do it.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot. I mean, Ben White, of course, we can mention his name.
Please do.
Yes.
Has been working on production on your album. Yeah, it's great.
We really lucked out with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he sent me a bunch of tracks, and they're really great, all over the place too. And man, that's what I love about it. It's like, wow, what's the next one going to be? So,
thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if I can mention like song titles or not. If they've been released or not, but yeah.
I like the one that started with blood.
That was an idea. That was one of those ideas, because no idea is off the table until it just completely fails. And one of our ideas was every song have the word blood in it. And that worked for a little bit. Then it just it starts to get tedious.
Right. Gene Splitter's a great track. I've been jamming that one all week.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. That's what I've been coming home to and listening to.
I think that was the first one we wrote collaboratively.
Really?
Full. There was nothing. Like neither one of us had demos or any riffs or anything. That one came about. That was the first one that was completely just the two of us doing stuff.
So I got to ask, though, going back to the cover band, what were you covering when you guys were in the cover band?
It was an adventure because no one would have recognized any of them as covers. Because that was my thing. I would refuse to be in a cover band, not out of anything like against cover bands. I didn't want to do it. So in about 30 minutes of a set, we would go from Hank Williams to Bjork and Portishead and everything in between. And we would change arrangements. We would, like if a song went like the chorus was loud, we would go soft on the chorus and hard on the verse, and reverse things up and change it up to the point where, and barely any hits, you know what I mean? Like I didn't like doing hit songs as covers. So it sounded like an original band.
We did get a lot of compliments. We'd be like,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I really like that song "Wandering Star" that you guys did. It's like, okay, well, that's Portishead. So,
yeah. Oh, I'd like to hear that cover though.
Yeah, I'm curious at least.
I'm a big Portishead fan. Yeah, everybody you mentioned I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, it was a 5-piece rock band, and we did a cover from Bjork's Medulla album that was all vocals, and so that was an adventure finding how to take all voices and make it into 3 chords.
I bet.
On the guitar. Thank God for the internet and tabs.
Yeah. Bjork vocal tabs.
Yeah. Somebody else did the legwork on that one. And then I sloppily played guitar for it.
It was super fun though, just playing songs you didn't have responsibilities for.
A little bit of freedom with that, yeah.
Yeah. Because we could get real drunk in that band before sets. Oh, dude. You could just not even be paying attention, and people would be like, oh, that was great. Like, All right. Cool.
You only had to play one instrument, and that was great.
Yeah. Didn't have to be the lead singer. That was great too.
Yeah. So you were a 5-piece then, you said?
Yeah. We had 2 guitars. One guitar player was on or off. He was just our buddy. He joined because he was like, "Hey, do you guys mind if I come play acoustic guitar for you?" And we're like, "Sure." And so he would just come. Sometimes he wouldn't.
Sometimes he wouldn't be plugged in.
Right.
Yeah, he played a show at the Riot Room, not plugged in at all. He was up on stage jamming his acoustic guitar with us. It was great.
Huh.
Yeah, I can remember that as being in a band a long time ago anyway, when I was younger, and our bass player was just always drunk and, passed out at home by like 2:00 in the afternoon, and had so many people saying, "Wow, you got a really interesting sound without a bass in there." It's like, yeah, that's not really by design. Choice. Yeah, we prefer so-and-so was here, but he's been asleep for a while. We can't wake him up, so that's how it goes.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to make do.
Right. So we were a 3-piece by
That's kind of what happened to us. And then slowly,
Right.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, it slowly devolved. Eventually it'll be 1.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
We're already on the outs.
Right.
You find yourself having to, fill in for that or compensate for that a lot, or do you, trying to fill in those parts and like, I got to get the lows in there, and
Well, personally, I don't, because I only play the guitar, sometimes the bass, and then I sing. Stranger does all of the heavy lifting of playing the drums, the guitar, the piano, the bass, sings, and does various combinations of those at the same time. Like I said earlier, he's the talent, I'm the face. So
right.
we don't write songs as a 2-piece. We don't write them with the 2-piece thing in mind. As you can hear on those recordings, if you were to see a live show, it becomes stripped down because our goal is to just be good songwriters. And so as long as you have a good song, you can do it any way you want to.
Right.
You can strip any great song down to just a guy on a guitar, and it will be great still. So, or you can add a whole bunch of French horns and have Ben White produce the hell out of it, and it will be awesome.
Yeah. So what was your upbringing like on learning instruments? Or, sounds like Stranger has a lot of musical background or
right.
Not really. I played in high school with some people, and I was a bass player. And then we needed a drummer, so I learned how to play drums. And the piano person taught me some piano licks. And then I basically just sat in my room for 16 hours a day playing music.
Yeah.
He's Stranger for a reason.
Right. That'll do it.
Mine was I just wanted to be Dwayne Allman.
Oh, really?
I just started playing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to play guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super hard. It pissed me off how hard it was to learn how to play music.
Yeah, I get frustrated with that. I've only been playing guitar for about a year now, about 2 years now. And yeah, I don't get enough practice. I know that.
Yeah.
I feel like you hit a wall. I don't know.
Oh, all the time. You will hit a wall every day. Yeah.
So yeah, I just kept switching instruments every time I hit a wall. I'm like, well, learn how to play piano now.
Oh, does that work?
And then there's also times where I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool if there was piano in this song? Stranger, help me out.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Nice to be able to jump around anyway. I don't know. I quit piano lessons really early when I was young. I took those. I mean, it seemed like the best way to start for me. Just, it's real straightforward and, instrument, and everything's on scale. Everything's there from left to right. You know?
Yeah.
You don't have to tune it. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Or if you do, you better fucking call somebody and come to your
Right.
house.
Somebody does it for you.
Right. You pay them a lot of money because they're hard to tune. So, how long have you been working on the new album?
Well, it started out, we were starting this year. We moved into a place together, and we were going to do an EP and buy a van and travel around the Midwest and sell T-shirts out of our van while playing rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then the the whole shutdown happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the EP was done. We had 5 songs already done, ready to go, get shipped off to get mastered and whatever. And Ben was like, "Hey, before you do that, could I get a crack at that? I just want to hear it. So as a hobby, can I get those tracks?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, And the first thing he sent back to us, we were like, "Oh, okay, we need to do this more." And now that we're shut down and lost all of our gigs, let's just go ahead and finish the album, because we already had the idea of the 11 songs now. We already had those, and like how they're gonna cohesively fit together.
Yeah.
So we might as well. I mean, we got nothing else to do. So, and I didn't buy a van, so now it's time to buy a bunch of guitar amps and speakers and guitars, and let's get an album.
Well, I mean, you guys are kind of lucky in the regard that you're quarantined together.
Oh yeah, big time. Oh, big time.
True.
Big time. Yeah, because I have a friend that sings in another band that also lives with us. I sing in another band. I don't know why I'm trying to beat around the bush on that, but I sing in another band, and I haven't practiced with those dudes, because they live 30 minutes away from me. And they got kids and all this stuff. So like, we haven't even had practice. They haven't even done any of that stuff. And we were just starting to get, 4 songs together, so we lucked out. The Blood Daubers lucked out really hard on moving it into this spot and saving a bunch of money.
Yeah. Cause at least you can keep writing, but then it's, still, man, everything just being on hold like this is so bizarre.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been really struggling with that and looking at the arguments of everything that's going on. It's just I see like this diaspora of what's going on out of entertainment places like LA and New York, where people are just like fleeing into the countryside and abandoning these places. They're just like, I can't live here for another 6 months and keep paying these taxes and, paying these taxes. And it's just, it's crazy that, it's like at some point in time, and we all want everybody to be safe, but then, man, you think about like pro sports, you think of everything else. How is this sustainable?
Right.
Yeah.
We want to be safe, but we also want to be sane. And that's, I think, where we're trying to balance it out, because it's hard to live in that much isolation.
Oh, for sure. And I just want to get drunk and yell the blues into people's faces at a bar. So
right. But yeah, I mean, it's also much more than that. I mean, you're looking at complete economic collapse in some places. I mean, not to be, dark and gloomy, but I mean, the sports industry, music industry, entertainment industry is huge.
Oh, and stagehands, the whole crew, everybody, the industry of, building a stage and transporting a stage, the whole road crew.
Exactly.
That's one nobody thinks about, like, gives a shit about musicians, really, like, most of the famous rock stars, you can go do a live stream and make some money.
Yeah.
Or, you're actually getting money for your streams. But, the crews and anybody that's working the blue collar end of it is, it's, I don't know.
Yeah. That's tough.
For sure.
But, I'm glad to see you guys are moving forward with some of that, though, and still being able to, record and create. You writing anything new as a result, or change anything, the way that you do anything?
Well, I mean, we change everything.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing, so we're constantly changing it.
Right?
Yeah, I really appreciate Ben in the sense that when we first sent him, we had one set of microphones and guitars and techniques, and now the stuff that we've been sending him, because we still have we've got 2 more left to send him to get mixed and stuff. I mean, we got one more that needs to be fully tracked, and then we'll be, close to done with it. But I feel for him having to deal with how I've upgraded microphones and all of that stuff, So, but he's been doing it. I mean, Ben White's awesome.
He is.
Yeah.
Even his advice, like, send me multiple takes. We're like, really?
Yeah. You sure you don't want me to mix it down? Yeah.
Well, he's a talented guy.
Yeah.
When we first started sending him stuff, like our vocal takes, like we'd send him like 2 or 3, like, oh, here, work with this. And he's like, no, man, just sit there and just do a bunch of them. So like the last thing we just sent him, I think we did we sent him Stranger like 15.
No, it's 36 vocal tracks and 1 piano.
Wow.
Okay. I don't remember after number 15. I'm going to blame that on the beers, but yeah. And he was just like, oh yeah, let me do that. And we just got a mix back from him today for that song. And I'm really pleased with where that's going. So
cool. Well, I mean, yeah, he sounds excited about it.
He does.
You know, one of the main reasons why we had to push and get you on. He's just like, yeah, talk to these guys. I'm, you know, working on and mastering your record and having a great time with it. And, you know.
Who would have thought that Halloween show at the Gaslight in Lawrence when he first saw us would have turned out to be this, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how good is Negative Balance, right? The Godzillionaire album.
Oh, my God. That's such an incredible album.
Right? When they were about to release that, he sent me a message, and you know how it comes up on your phone and you can only read like half of it, and it says, hey, I have a question about these upcoming Godzillionaire shows. Mm-hmm. And that's where it cut off on the front screen of my phone. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my goodness, Blood Daubers going to get to open up for Godzillionaire, which would be awesome. Right. And then I read it again, and he's like, would you be interested in playing guitar with us? And I'm like, well, yes. You know, of course. And then he was like, would Stranger want to play some keyboards with us when we do this live? And we're like, yes. And we got a few practices in, and then we got shut down. Fuck. So, yeah. But I did get a copy of that album, you know, like later that day, and it was like 2 weeks before it came out. And oh man, just blown away.
Oh yeah.
Just yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Oh yeah. They shared it with us before it came out, and it was just like, oh my God, how am I not going to share this?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
That was hard. We had to sit on it for a few months, and we were just like, oh my God, I really want, you know, and Mark and a couple, they were like, you know, you can play it for your friends at your house and shit or whatever. We're like, yeah. Okay, we'll do that. But then, yeah, we got shut down. I couldn't even play. Like, maybe I could play through my phone. It's like, no, I don't want to hear it like that. But yeah, I'm so glad it came. It sounds just amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait for that vinyl to come out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I remember I got sent it, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to do this. And then I tried to do it. I was like, how has Ben so much better at this than me?
He is fucking talented.
Yeah. It sounds so simple. Like his guitar riff sounds so simple. Like when you just hear it, everything's so simple.
Mm-hmm. It's not.
It's not. The complexity within his playing that is, I mean, have you ever seen Ben's left hand while he plays guitar? It's the most efficient thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
It's
and the tone he gets out of it is just
Oh yeah.
It's wild as hell. Yeah, it's still it's very crunchy sounding. I love it. Really good album.
The trick is to watch Star Trek.
Apparently. Yeah, that's what I heard. Too.
That was kind of a moment. Go back and listen, see if I heard any Star Trek in there.
So how did you guys come up with your image? For those, I guess maybe a better question to ask is, describe your image for people that haven't seen you before.
We are the bar band that's playing in a Mad Max movie.
Nice.
That's a good way to put it. So yeah, we can describe it a little bit, I suppose. Bandanas, right? Eye holes cut out, faces covered completely top to bottom, right? Kind of spread them out. So
yeah, and I usually have my shirt off.
Oh, right on. Okay.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would see.
Yeah. The bandanas happened because we played outside one day. It was like 90 degrees.
Oh yeah, on the patio.
It was too hot to wear a mask, but we had bandanas, so we just cut holes in them.
I believe that was our second show, and after that first show of playing indoors with a ski mask on and it being too hot, I was like, "There's no way I'm playing at 6 o'clock in July, like 6 p.m. in July with a ski mask on my face." So we need to come up with something else if we're going to do the mask thing. And we just wrap some bandanas around our face, cut out eye holes. I'm still on the first. I'm on my second one, and I don't ever wash it.
Right on. It's got to smoke.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, right. It goes in my back pocket when I'm done.
My trick. A lot of people don't understand that really about the Midwest. You know, the people who listen to us all over the place. A lot of people I talk to from other places are like, "Oh, it must be kind of like, you know, mild or moderate there in the summer." It's like, no, Yeah.
No, it's hot as fuck.
Missouri, Kansas. It's hot. It's Africa hot. It's bad.
It's oppressive. Yeah. It's oppressive. Yeah, it's
right.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. You will die outside. Yeah.
We get into 3 digits and it's really humid.
Yeah. Super damn hot. And then when the winter comes, it's 2 digits below.
4 days later.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, shit. Look at tonight. I mean, I don't know. Is it that cool there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're not that far from me. You guys are in Columbia.
Yeah, I'm in Columbia. He's in,
right.
I'm in KC. Yeah. Just a couple hours away. So, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, just last weekend getting just sunburned to shit. Forgot to put the sunblock on my legs and just my knees just turned purple from being on the sun. Ooh. And then today, just like, Jesus, it's cold. I don't know what it's out there, but extreme, man. Extreme.
Yeah.
Everything's a bit extreme right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just trying to hold on, man. So, yeah, the actual, the image idea, we discussed it, but it wasn't like, it was more of a, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Mm-hmm. And then we would do those ideas. And then, just keep throwing noodles at the wall, and the ones that stick are good to go.
Yeah. Interesting. What kind of gear have you always steered toward? Just to answer that question. Anything in particular, or just whatever you can?
I like vintage amps and homemade guitars, and the weirder the better.
Yeah.
But our main, if we want to get into guitar tones, our main guitar tone would be a Fender Bandmaster. It's a 68 through a 212 cab.
Oh, okay.
And then I started buying some custom pedals from Little River Customs down in, was it Lickskillet, Alabama? Alabama. Some guy that makes these custom pedals that are awesome. And he does great clones, and I've just been using that. I also have some homemade amps. I also like Gorilla amps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nobody, they get a lot of shit talked on them, but tiny amps are where it's at. I think Gene Splitter, I remember Gene Splitter tone was a Big Muff and a Fender Champ in our living room through a SM57. And then the amp, I had it tilted up against the wall just a little bit to add, because it's an open back cab. I don't know, to add a little extra. But yeah, I like tiny amps.
How many amps on that?
I think Gene Splitter would have just been everything. Every guitar tone would have been through the Champ.
Just through the Champ. Wow.
Through the Fender Champ.
Yeah.
When we get into other ones, I don't know. I just kind of, right now I'm surrounded by, I'm sitting next to I got 5 amps up here next to me. And that's not my whole collection. So we can...
at least 4 more down here.
yeah. We can get the tone you need.
Yeah. So you just boost them with mics and shit when when you're recording, or?
Oh, the Champ was just it doesn't need to be very loud. I think I had it at 4 or 5, so it wasn't breaking up too much. And then using the Big Muff to break it up. And then just that SM57. I mean, we are a real budget home recording thing. We don't have a vocal booth. We don't have an actual, seriously, the living room is the guitar room. Mm-hmm. And it's a big square room with it's on we live in a split level, so it's got the wood floors, so it's pretty echoey.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's most of our guitar tones. Sometimes we do guitar tones downstairs. They get it's a little bit darker down there, so they got carpet, and use the Bandmaster or this PVPA head that I like to drive pedals into.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of force limitations. It's never going to be perfect. Just take what you got and run with it.
Yeah,
yeah.
And that's kind of what we are too. Force limitations. When we write a song, we don't write it with those limitations. But now that when we go play live, well, how do we do? Did Ben send you Blood Moon?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Blood Moon live is it's not completely different, but sometimes there's piano and sometimes there isn't.
Right.
Sometimes it's 2 guitars. Sometimes it's guitar, bass, and drums. And it just depends on what we're feeling.
Yeah. Well, you've got to be able to. I mean, you can't though necessarily go play live with like a 30 watt though, or like a 15 or something.
Well, you could if it's getting mics.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I've seen guys, if it's getting mic. If you're going through a soundboard, or if you're going through a sound guy, you can get it. You can tour with the Champ. I've seen people do that.
Huh.
I have this custom made. It'd be a Fender Deluxe, but it's the 5E3 Fender circuit in a wooden box that has 2 settings. Loud. I mean, just shake the room loud, and that's at 1. And then as soon as you get up to 2, all you're getting is more gain through the preamp tubes, and it just I don't like plugging pedals into it because the best overdrive sound is this thing shaking the walls of the house. Right. I really wanted to play it live somewhere, but we haven't had the chance yet because it will run. I could run a room with it. Just through a 112 cab. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's really loud.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess I haven't really considered that. There's the way they can mic them up. I guess you've also got to consider who's running the board or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
See if they're willing to fuck with it.
Yeah.
See a lot of guys who just like to set up the board and walk away during shows for it.
Well, we were using one of our favorite things because when we travel is we like playing in Hayes. Have you guys talked to any of the Hayes, Kansas people yet?
Well, I don't know. Have we met?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right. Jordan Rome would be a good guy if you want to keep doing your Kansas thing. Jordan Rome and Hayes, he's got quite a little setup he's got going over there.
Okay.
But when we would travel, we wanted everything to fit in one car.
Yeah.
So we were using these orange micro Terror amps, which are about those little tiny ones.
Yep.
And just run those through some 112 cabs. Those also have a line out, a headphone jack. So sometimes we record with those as a DI box that has, and
double duty.
Yeah. So we can travel light, get everything to fit in the back of a PT Cruiser. And that's the Blood Daubers. Yeah.
Cool. Have you played this far? Have you played over in Missouri or,
we haven't played a Missouri gig. We've played, we've gone west. We've played Hayes a bunch of times, and the scene in Hayes, before the shutdown, the scene in Hayes was awesome. You go to Hayes, there'd be 150 people at the place, all just down to watch you. They were down to see the music, which is something I hadn't seen, in Lawrence or even in Kansas City for a while, of people just coming to a show, just wanting to watch a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't about getting drunk and hanging out. It was literally about watching people play music.
Watching a band and buying merch. I watched the dude that did a solo acoustic set sell $300 worth of T-shirts.
Wow.
Right? I mean, he was great. But yeah, you might want to look up Jordan Rome. I'll send you guys some links to his stuff. He's quite the rock icon out there.
Yeah, quite the character too.
Oh yeah, Jordan's awesome.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, I'm becoming more fascinated with it. I haven't spent a lot of time in Kansas, but I go through there when I go to Colorado.
See, that's what
I've stayed in Hayes.
So that was the guy that did the acoustic set. This kid Tyler Miller, who lives in Chicago, and he travels. He's full professional musician. That's all he does is just travel around, 250 shows a year, and all that stuff.
Right.
He was saying, "I'm so glad to have a spot right here in Hayes, Kansas, because it's between Tulsa and you can make a spot between Tulsa and Denver or Kansas City and Denver and not have to drive all the way. So you could do a date in Denver and then a date in Hayes and then another date, you could having that spot where people would actually buy stuff.
Oh, that makes sense.
And be a good scene and be a solid scene. And it was a great scene. It should still be. They have a lot of great bands. The college kids there, cause it's a college town. There's Miles on End is a great band, Jordan Rome, and then the Action Boys. It was a fun time. Dangerously Biased is also from there. They're great.
Yeah, I do dig Action Boys. Yeah, I've checked out some of their shit.
Action Boys, Jordan Rome.
Yeah, right on. Oh, that's the same guy. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's Jordan Rome and the Action Boys.
All right. Yeah, definitely listen to Action Boys. That's good shit.
Dig him. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And Kelly turned me on to Unmerciful, also out of Topeka.
Yeah.
Love that band. Amazing. They shred, but more of a death metal kind of a prog death metal band, but
I've heard of a couple of their tracks. Yeah.
Yes, interesting stuff. But I'm more into that shit, I think, than Matt. But I don't know. Matt still likes some death metal.
No, I still like it.
I like underground funk. That's my main thing that I want to find. Underground funk.
Oh yeah.
We're getting a lot of good suggestions of shit like that out of the West Coast anyway, in the Bay Area.
Oh yeah.
From people that we know there. Yeah. I'll send you some shit. You know, the thing is, it's always questionable. I don't know how much it's underground versus how much I live in Missouri. And to me, that's right. You know, it's like,
I'm talking about just obscure artists from the 60s. I like the Texas 60s funk. If we're going to get really into like Making the Soul Generation, and there's a few more that I can't think of right now because they got weird names. But yeah, I like that funk. So funky, your speakers get moldy.
Yeah.
So
right on.
Yeah.
Man, we don't get a lot of exposure to that here in the Midwest. You really got to dig. You really got to dig to find it. I mean, just like anybody, I think in high school or whatever, I was turned on to Parliament and everything George Clinton did and Bootsy and those guys. And following down that path. And I really like funk. I do, but my catalog's not that extensive with it as far as what I know. Probably from where I am.
Yep. I dream of getting Bootsy Collins on. That would be fun.
Blasting off, baby.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. It would. I wonder what he's up to.
Hopefully being alive. He's getting old.
Like, Jesus. Maybe I should Google
start.
it, see if he is. Surely.
He's been around a long time.
Yeah.
I'll check real quick. I'll cringe, but I'll check.
All right.
Bootsy Collins, dead or no?
Died yesterday.
Oh, this episode's quickly becoming a memorial.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
68. He's in Ohio. He's in Ohio. He's born in Cincinnati. Sorry, born in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
But, this is always encouraging when you read the wiki or whatever, and it's like William Earl Bootsy Collins is an American music. Okay, is means he's still.
Okay, cool, great. Oh, great.
Is the qualifier, not was. So yeah, he's 68 years old, still alive, I guess.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, he's got a Twitter.
Oh man, you learn something new every day, right?
Alive and well.
His latest tweet is, "Think I got time for one more lecture, Mr. Brown. Good night, Bootsy baby." Perfect.
On the
All right, he's well. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah, we'll work on that. I don't know though. Sounds pretty energetic in his tweet. You gotta be like, "No thanks, baby." I don't know who you are.
I'm just glad that at least Bootsy Collins is tweeting and I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, at least I live in a world where
Yeah.
Bootsy Collins knows more about technology than I do.
Right. It sounds like it's written by him anyway. When you read that, I don't know. Could have an assistant.
He just seems like a storyteller, though.
Yeah. Could have an assistant. It's like, write this down.
Write this down, baby.
You never know.
Oh, we got a tweet-a-leet-a-leet. I don't know if I'm doing a good Bootsy Collins or not.
I don't know. It's pretty good.
It's not bad. I've heard worse.
What if he stays in character like all the time?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you guys wearing a mask, so
Oh, there you go. Well, we talked
There's
to
video.
John Axtell, who was in Psychofunkapus. They were a Bay Area band, and he talked about talking to Les Claypool.
Yeah.
To get, they were just hoping to open for Primus.
Yeah, trying to book.
And when he talked to Les, he just stayed in character.
Something like the old-timey voice,
Go
Go
talk to our manager.
Talk to our manager. We'll see you about. Yeah, twisting his mustache and all that. He's like, Jesus, this guy doesn't have an off switch. But yeah,
I just wanted to hear him say Psychofunkapus.
You tell him. Yeah, you're going to tell him. It's on the podcast.
He tells it better.
It's good. But yeah, that's part of our funk regime too. What we know anyway. What Matt and I have gone down this lot of.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I can send you some links to some really, really. I like the instrumental stuff. I like 3 minutes or less. That's another thing I have. It's all about that snap on that snare, man.
Yeah.
A good funk drummer is the best thing ever. Solid pocket funk drumming is just gets my bones cold.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, the biggest problem I have with it is just time, and doing the show and stuff, and it's just like researching. It's like I'll listen to a band for a week, or my OCD kicks in, and I'll listen to the same track like over and over again. And I just don't, I don't have time to go down different paths. It's like I'll just get on a kick. And it'll take me for like 2 weeks. And
I do that sort of, yeah.
I mean, I have pretty diverse music tastes, but I have a hard time diversifying myself with what I listen to, just breaking the pattern,
I think that's been, for me, a good thing about having a podcast is it kind of forces you to, these guys are coming up. I got to listen to something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That would be, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it to where it's like, I wonder what West African blues sounds like. And I'll have that thought, and then I'll go on a complete just deep dive of that for months and just listen to almost nothing but that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Ali Farka Touré, I'm not saying that name correctly at all, but it was really interesting to me to listen to his album, The River, because it's like, well, this is John Lee Hooker and R.L. Burnside. Like, this is North Mississippi and Chicago blues, but I can't understand what he's saying. But the guitar play, but it's incredible. Yeah, I went on a deep dive with that stuff for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was obsessed with country music for a few years. So I think right now when I say that funk is my main thing, like I'm just kind of obsessed with funk for right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. In a month, it'll be something else.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully we can move on and, progress into something else.
Do you think that influences what you play, or do you think that just influences what you listen to and what you're grooving on at the time?
No, because I'm not that talented. Like I wouldn't when I got into Mingus real hard for a year.
Mm-hmm.
It was just I couldn't listen to anything but the Black Saint, the Center Lady. But like I don't play guitar like a guy that could play guitar that listens to Mingus for a year. You know what I mean? Like I don't see it filtering in the sense of what comes out of me, but definitely hearing other influences and having that there, I feel helps, but I don't see that. Like, I don't hear me keeping up with Mingus at all. No.
Does that ever get discouraging? I mean, it does for me. Like I've been binging, watching Metalocalypse and listening to Brendan Small play. And it's like, I can fucking shred for a guy who's just, doing a cartoon or whatever.
Yeah, write a cartoon.
And he's hilarious. And it's like, Jesus Christ, it's so discouraging to me because I've got kind of an Explorer up on the wall like he plays. It's like, I'll never be able to play that song. It's like he can.
Well, on the DVD, they have Squizgar doing a guitar lesson, like in the extras, doing a guitar lesson for the solo on the Coffee song. And it's all animated, and it comes up with a tab, and it is Squizgar doing a guitar lesson, a video guitar lesson for
That's
you.
funny.
And it is hilarious. He's like, oh no, just practice.
This is practices. This keeps playing the guitars. Yeah.
If you don't know how to do this, you don't know snakes from dildos.
Yeah, it's great though. Yeah, I did see he's got some stuff online, some tutorials and stuff Brendan does, and just an amazing guitar player. I don't know if he's always been playing. I haven't really checked out his bio or anything to find out, but it's good music. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying though, of getting discouraged by it. Intimidated. I got out of that habit a long time ago. You say you've only been playing for like a year.
Yeah, a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh, guitar playing will break you of that habit real quick. You just give it some more time. We'll break you of being intimidated. You'll just start it'll just start clicking like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Really?
And then you'll be able to build upon that. Once you have your foundation, you'll just keep building on it.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something like that for everybody. I like to ask them. It's like, was there a point that just clicked, for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, every day.
Yeah. Just like, okay, this makes sense. And it just becomes like muscle memory and things like that.
It happened to me with the Godzillionaire riff that I was like, "There's no way I'm ever going to learn this."
Yeah.
And the other day, it started clicking a little bit more. It just keeps growing. Because when I first, this solution is laughable. The ending riff, like when Mark does the big scream, and then they do the Ulysses chant, and then that riff. Oh boy, that's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough. And Ben's like, well, I do this 4 times, but like it kind of depends on Mark singing, I'm like, well, I'm used to being in a loose band that goes by, facial cues and all that stuff. But like, man, I'm not even keeping up with this thing right now. And it finally clicked, and it then you just have it. You know what I mean? Like it's just there. You just keep plugging away, and then all of a sudden it clicks. You get little light switches, and then it'll make big light switches.
Yeah, the first time I had my musical click, the first time like play with band, and like all of a sudden, like I could actually, just like. That's a drug I've been chasing and love more than anything. This is just that musical. All of a sudden it makes sense.
Yeah, I'd quit drugs for music for sure.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't have to. So.
Well, what was it with you, stranger? What do you think that click was?
It's the first time I was forced to play drums. And after a while, I was just watching myself play drums. Like I wasn't even doing it. Like it was just happening. And I was like, holy shit. This is super fun.
I'm watching that with my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's learning to play
drums. Yeah.
It wasn't okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 bass there. Like it was just happening. And it's like, that was like the first real click where it was just occurring. And I wasn't thinking about it. Like, I'm like, I fell in love with it immediately after that.
Yeah, I watch him and he like picks up stuff so quickly, and it's just like, holy shit, man, you've got that click. It's just really like super obvious with him. And then he'll be like, okay, Dad, I'm going to show you how to play this. And I'll sit down and I look like an idiot.
Right.
I'm going to try. No, Dad, no. Okay. Put your foot here.
Move.
Right.
Let me show you again. Just let me show you again.
Yeah.
I don't understand drums at all. I don't know how anybody wants to put themselves into making their body do something so uncomfortable.
There's a lot going on.
It makes no sense to me. I can't separate that much yet. I don't know. Maybe I'll get the click. Maybe I'm still waiting on my click.
I had to force mine because we had a drummer quit.
Yeah.
And so the bass, we had a piano player who could play bass. So he took the bass. Oh. And then I had to go to Hastings and buy a $100 drum kit in a box. And I spent a week learning how to play drums in order to play this show for the first time.
Act.
Yeah, like
that's awesome.
I didn't know that story. That's hilarious. I know who you're talking about. Dude. That's awesome.
Drums by attrition. Yeah. That'll do it. You don't have a choice.
And that's sort of what we've done too with this with the Blood Daubers. We're forced to be the lead singer. I've never sang before in front of people or any of that stuff, and I'm still not good at it by any stretch. But that was the other thing too, that forced attrition thing of like, this should be hard. You know what I mean? Like let's challenge ourselves and let's do something that it wouldn't be easy to do.
Right.
Yeah, I started to play music because I had moved up here when I was like around 16, and I had an uncle that played music. As a going away person, he gave me a bass. Mm-hmm. And then I was sitting at a lunch table in a new high school, and somebody goes, does anyone know how to play bass? I raised my head. I go, I own one.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough for a bass player.
From then on, I've been playing music ever since.
Yeah.
I think that's how most bands find bass players.
It is.
Anybody own a bass?
we talked to so many people, you would be surprised. Just a platinum recording artist that like, I did not know how to play a fucking bass before I started this band, or guitar or whatever. Just like, they told me you're in the band, and it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I think that's how the Clash got their bass player. So
yeah.
I think he just stole a bass and he's like, I'm in your band now.
Yeah, who
like, awesome.
Who were you going to talk about, Matt?
Oh, I mean, we had several people. I know Lisa Umbarger.
Yeah.
That's, the first one that comes to my mind. She had no idea how to play the bass before she joined the Toadies.
Wow.
Right?
Not at all.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, not a bad gig to land if you don't know how to. Yeah. But Todd, or Vader, just taught her. He was like, just come in the band, because they worked at the music store together, and he wanted a girl in the band playing bass, and asked her, and she's like, I don't know how to play. And he was like, don't worry, I'll teach you.
Yeah. Went home, was like, Dad, I need to buy a bass. Like, yeah. Her dad was a musician, though, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, but then he also taught Mooney.
Yeah. Yep.
how to play guitar.
Even Todd Lewis did, yeah. Taught him how to play guitar.
That's kind of how I got my start when I was 15. I joined a band to be in the high school battle of the bands, and this one guy had to teach us all how to play our instruments. So, what was I? When I was 16, I could play 4 songs on the guitar, and they were 3 originals and the Weezer Sweater song.
Right on.
And that's literally all I knew about the guitar.
Huh.
And I knew that I liked listening to Dwayne Allman, so then I'd try to do that, and that ended quickly. I hit that wall real quick of, you're not going to be Dwayne Allman.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Fred is who taught me how to play guitar.
Oh, cool.
He's like, your left hand has 2 fingers. They go, doodly, 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 and your right hand goes up and down.
Right.
And you pray to God it works out. that's how you play guitar, man.
Huh.
Yeah, you use your index and your ring finger, and you go back and forth with them.
Right.
Because that'll skip a fret, so that's a whole step. And then you just move your right hand up and down and pray to God it works out. And I'm just going to go right now. I'm going to thank the Heavenly Father for letting it sort of work out for me sometimes.
That's really not bad advice. That sums up, I'd say that probably sums up about 6 months of practice.
I got to skip a few steps.
That's a really good way to put it. Nobody wants to hear that, I'm sure, who, it's been playing for years. But you're right.
Oh, people that sit there and run scales all day don't want to know that.
Yeah.
But
yep. Yeah. What is with that? I never understood that, the secret, that it's like people who, and people do this in all walks of life, I suppose, that when they get good at something, it's like, oh, it takes too much for you to figure this out. And, they almost make it inaccessible.
Because people want to feel special, so they built their own walls around themselves.
Yeah.
Right. That's such bullshit.
Right. I get to be a snob now. I've achieved that level.
But no,
yeah. But it is a good idea to practice.
Dexterity, muscle control, all that. It comes into play. But is it how you do it? Not necessarily.
No.
Yeah. Everybody's got their own style and all that.
Yeah. And I wouldn't suggest anybody going out to like an open mic tomorrow and just go doodly doo.
I would totally, absolutely.
I would fully encourage that. I would fully encourage that. Yes. Go to your open mic. Go get on stage and get terrified.
Yeah, put yourself in the worst situation imaginable. It's really not a bad idea.
Yeah, go bomb. You haven't lived until you've bombed on stage. I promise you.
You sound pretty sure that.
I've bombed a lot of times.
Let's hear some of those stories. Let's see. What was your worst?
What's your best bomb story? Yeah.
Let's see. All right, we played in that band previous. We played an art gallery, and we were way too loud to be in an art gallery. Right. But whatever. And I go to launch into a guitar solo, and I click the wrong pedal. And I play the wrong note, and it is bad. So it's not recoverable. I'm used to like, if you hit, because here's what you do on the guitar. Here's the secret.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret on guitar playing, and especially solos. If you hit a wrong note, just stop, because now it's jazz.
Yeah. Right. That's jazz.
So I did it so bad that it's now we've taken this country song and made it acid jazz to old people sipping wine. It's like I just had to stop. Like it was just bad.
Oh wow!
It was horrific.
That's funny.
A little side story. This is my ex-father-in-law's art showing. That's the reason we have this gig. So it's all family. This bomb was bad, dude. This is. I just had to look over. I just had to look over at the other guys in the band and just be like, "Oh no, I fucked up, man."
Yeah, right.
I don't know. This is my big moment to shine, and it is not shining. It is bad.
Yeah, because most guys, they try to like recover from that. They're like, "Well, I'll just play in a little different scale and just work my way back." It's like, no, that's a bad idea.
I literally just put the guitar, like I didn't put it down, but like I just stopped playing and looked at them, waited for the solo section, the whole section to end, and then I came back up with my rhythm part. It was, it was just, there's no recovering from it. I never heard a note so bad in my entire life.
Just one note.
If you would have heard it too, you're like, there's no recovering from it.
I was there, and how excited he was that note, and then like, no.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, that was the best part too. It's like I went into this solo like this is my moment, you know, and like it's your moment. So like you step on the pedal and you're gonna like do that big rock star move, or like you like pull the neck up. And you're like, oh, nice. And it just went. And I just looked at everybody, just like, this is bad. I've already crashed this car. Like we should just stop the song, but like, luckily they kept playing, and
oh god.
Then I came back in on rhythm, and we did the other 2 verses and chorus. It was the first. It was
worse when like all your bandmates like look at you and like squinch their nose up, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh no, they were used to it at the time. It used to be fucking up.
Yeah.
Right. They're thinking, glad it wasn't me this time.
Right.
Oh yeah. Strangers has had a few.
Let's hear.
Oh yeah, what's yours?
I don't know if my worst experience, I feel, is the first time I was going to play piano, and I was really super excited about it. This is the same band, and we were playing in a bowling alley. And then I hit one chord on the piano, and the lead singer decides she's going to walk off stage and go home.
Oh
no!
Oh shit!
I remember that. That was an ugly scene, man. That was an ugly scene.
And dead, huh? Just left.
Oh yeah.
Just left.
Oh no. Well,
just done. Yeah, we packed up, went home.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I had to go home with her because that was my wife at the time. So
that's funny.
Yeah, it was that was a scene, man. I remember that bowling alley show was a disaster.
I remember.
We're talking, that was one song that we kind of flubbed, and then what the song Alex is talking about. I mean, Stranger.
Right.
I'm 4 tall kids in. Give me a break.
Well, I think it reminds me of a story. It's like I think Maynard Keenan was saying in an interview how he had a pedal like down by him that just cut his mic out. And he would, he's like, I'm getting older. I can't always hit those notes and sustain those notes. And I got to say, Tool, if you see them live, they're just amazing. Playing it like it sounds recorded. Just, I mean, no for no, great. But he's like, sometimes I just don't hit it. He's like, he's like, I'd stomp on that sucker and just like, it'd cut me out. And I'd be like, oh, well, shrug my shoulders. Well, bad sound, but he was like, yeah, no, it's because I couldn't hit it right then. It's like, that's smart move.
Yeah,
I want one of those, but I feel like there would be no vocals coming to any of our shows.
Well, you're not playing a stadium, you can't really act like, technical difficulty.
Yeah.
There's only $500,000 worth of equipment to make sure that there's no technical difficulties. But yes, of course you're having technical difficulties right now.
Oh, my mic's just a little staticky.
Yeah. You're not at a bar in Western Kansas on a Tuesday.
Yeah. That's always funny. Oh, geez. Best show you've ever played. What do you think? Last one you just really stomped. Last one you killed.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it was the Halloween show that we did last October with the Mad Kings at the Gaslight.
Mad Kings.
Yeah, and that was when Ben saw us, and like we were tuned up because like we'd been living together for a little bit, and like we took that show on like 4 days notice, but we'd been practicing and jamming to get ready to record, and like just feeling the songs out, and so like we were tuned up and ready to go.
Yeah,
and we had good sound that night. Like some guy came in and ran sound, so it wasn't just playing in a coffee shop through your amp and then screaming or whatever. And we crushed. Just absolutely destroyed. And then the Mad Kings played, and that's what they do, is destroy.
Yeah,
destroy. Yeah.
I think I saw some pics of that show, like Mad Kings and Corpse Paint and stuff that night. And
yeah. We had the masks on, so it was a good fit.
Yeah, good Halloween show. Yeah. Sounds like a good time.
I don't remember most of it because I would tend to get a little drunk before and after, because I feel like playing music and playing a show is like throwing a game of darts.
Yeah.
Or playing pool. You got to get tuned up. You'll find that level where you're like, oh, I'm about to murder you in darts, or I'm about to murder this show. And hopefully, the rest of your band's on that same level as you as you're doing that.
Yeah.
Or I could be living in a complete fantasy world.
Right.
So
Sure. You could be throwing them in the wall. You know?
yeah, it'd be like, man, I'm so good at darts. I'm fucking killing this game, man. I don't know why you...
Yeah.
Oh, you...
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Oh, you still throw at bullseyes, huh? I've progressed beyond bullseyes.
Watch me go.
This is art.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's art. It's art.
Can't be
It's
defeated.
jazz now. But yeah, that show was fantastic. That show, it was people there. Everybody was all nice, and that was our first time playing with the Mad Kings.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always felt like with how varied our sound is, and how we're not a metal band, we're not a punk band, we're not like a blues band or any of that stuff. We kind of dripped in and out of all of that. I felt like the Mad Kings, with their sound, we would have always fit well opening up for them or playing a show with them,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Mad Kings.
Yeah. And it worked out really well. And then that's when Ben saw us. And I'd known Ben already, because I was a huge fan of the Old Black back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, when he came up and was like, man, you guys are great, man. Like, it's good to see you doing stuff. I didn't know you had that voice on you. It's like, was I bad? Was it bad? Was it really bad? It was probably really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah. You think there's something to that regional sound idea?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, we talked about it before a little bit, but just like, you think there's something that's uniquely Lawrence?
Yeah.
Do you think there's something that's uniquely, Kansas City? Or do you think there's something uniquely...
I do think that I don't consider us to be in that, because I never felt at home there with the sound that I wanted to do. The Lawrence sound is bluegrass and singer-songwriter now. It used to not be, but that's what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
The metal sound was never my thing, and then like just going full bore into one genre, I never really wanted to do. Like, why can't I be in the MC5 and Tom Waits? Why can't I do both? Why can't I do both sides of that?
Yeah, I can see that.
And then still be able to book a show. You know what I mean? Like with anybody, because I'll play in front of anybody. I'm not afraid to play in front of a metal band or a bluegrass band.
Sure,
I'll set your crowd up, or I will, whatever. It's
my favorite compliment I think we've ever gotten is someone's like, "Oh, you played your first song. Like, oh, this is that band," and then it wasn't.
Yeah, I think that was that Cody. That was Cody Romaine. I think that was Cody that said that. Yeah, I remember that. That was a good one too. Yeah, because like we're going to change. Like if you think you know what we are after our first song, you have no idea what the fuck's about to happen.
Yeah. Well, I can see that definitely about your taste and stuff, and music I've seen you share on social media and stuff, and we checked out. But that's keeps people on their toes. I think it's a smart move.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I'm just doing it. We're just doing it for ourselves. Like I said when we started, it was why have any limitations on what you can do? I want to write a doo-wop song. I want to write just a full-out, like we could write a full-out punk song. We could write anything we want to. Why have a limitation on like what your band is supposed to be? Other than sometimes I get drunk, take my shirt off, and we're always wearing masks.
Right.
Have a common thread.
Right.
Yeah, that's our common thread.
Right.
You might not see Portishead do this, but they will play this song. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right on. So, when do you think the album's going to get dropped? Any idea? Are you guys kind of just waiting for everything to die down with the pandemic and shit?
We're not in a rush to play the one way.
Yeah. We got to support it, but
Right.
We gotta get ourselves back up to platinum on Rocket League first. No, we've settled on a title sort of for it, and then we'll start doing artwork. But first and foremost, before any of that happens, we've got 2 left to send to Ben, and then like basically 2 left to track and send to Ben, and then we'll go through and listen to it and do all the little tweaks and stuff. I would hope early 2021.
Okay.
I would hope, in a few months, because that's just factoring in, like, we're going to send it off to get mastered and all that stuff. Like, I don't know other people's schedules.
Right.
But we should be done tracking it by the end of this month. So
Cool.
It'll be soon. It'll be soon.
Yeah, but the two we have left is a basically a blues stomp song and then a complete robot weirdness.
All right.
Yeah. We have me going over in the other room and playing the guitar and yelling into a microphone, and then stranger
Microsoft Sam.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we had. So, like, honestly, by Thursday we could have everything to bin, and then we'll go from there. Then we'll go from there.
Where can everybody check out your shit in the meantime?
We have a YouTube channel. It's just the Blood Daubers. There's some weirdness on there.
Yes,
I'm going to blame it on quarantine on some of this stuff. But there's a couple of videos. A couple of the songs are on there, and then our manager got a hold of some diseased or drugged up squirrels and did a Christmas video for us. So that's on there.
I know what you're talking about.
That's all. I think that's on the YouTube. Did you already see it?
That's a great description. Yeah.
Yeah. Biscuit Dan, our manager, is not someone we need to. I don't like bringing him up or even talking about it. But yeah, too late. Sorry.
Right on. Well, I mean, we don't want to keep you guys all night or anything. We had a really good time. Anything else you wanted to plug or anything else? I mean,
yeah.
I think that's all we got to plug.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have this to plug.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
One thing at a time.
Does the album have a name?
The whole idea of the R&D, that was the original idea of the band. And so we kind of were thinking about the Renegades and the Delusions.
Cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it fits. And there will be, so like you've heard a few songs. I don't know how many did he send you?
Oh, we've got a few files. I mean, yeah.
Quite a few, yeah, several.
Okay. So there will be a cohesive element to this, and that involves the song that he just sent us a mix back from today, and then the robot, the Microsoft Sam song will tie it all together somehow. So there is a cohesive element. Like, we are kind of writing a vignette piece, so it'll all make sense eventually.
I always heard growing up, write what you know.
Yeah.
And I never liked it.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm writing something opposite of what I know about.
It's like, what the fuck do I know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that we started writing about the apocalypse, and murder, and destruction, and all of a sudden it got thrust upon us. So.
Like, oh no, I don't know that. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll let you get on and everything. But hey, everybody, thanks for listening to Undetermined the podcast. You've been listening to Blood Daubers. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having us so much.